but one still carries a human heart. He's the ghost in the hero.
In the future, humanity's last hope is a machine with a soul.
Hello everyone, welcome to What If Deku Was the Future Hero from Ghost in the Shell movie. Before we start, please go support Scissor717 for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistaken character's gender, but of course Deku is a male. Prologue. Izuku narrates. Hi, I'm Izuku Mido, well, formerly Midoriya. Now I'm Izuku Kusanagi. Why? Well, because I don't have a quirk and they've screwed me over my whole life. And what's a quirk, you might be wondering? Well, a quirk is a superpower. There are all kinds of colors and flavors, all sorts of types. But anyway, now that you have the context, let's get to the story. 3 people, 2 children and a woman, could be seen in a hospital doctor's office, waiting for some results to see what kind of quirks they would have. Nomi? Are you happy to know what kind of quirks we'll have, Oni-chan? She said happily and enthusiastically. She was Nomi Midoriya, the youngest daughter of the Midoriyas. She was an enthusiastic, cheerful and beautiful girl, just as her name suggested. Izuku? Yes, of course, I really want to know. He said it in a serious and bored tone. And then the door is opened by a doctor who arrived in a wheelchair. Inko. Very well, Doc, will you tell us what kind of quirks my children have? She said it in a serious and demanding tone. Doc. Well, I have 2 pieces of news, the good one and the bad one. Doc. The good news is that your daughter has a powerful quirk called Firekinesis. This quirk gives her the ability to control her fire, shape it as she wishes, be covered by it, and be immune to her own fire. However, she cannot control other types of fire or be immune to other types of fire, only to her own. Nomi. Wow, isn't that amazing, Mama Noni-chan? Inko. It's kind of disappointing, but hey, at least. You have a strong quirk, and I'm getting fed up with being here, Doc. She said this seriously, her tone now rising with anger. Doc. Well, your son is a quirkless kid. Upon hearing those words, Izuku froze. His sister looked at him with some disappointment and his mother shook her head while letting out a sigh of disappointment. Inko. I had to come anyway. Thank you so much for everything, Doc. Kids, let's go. So, taking Nomi's hand, Izuku, seeing that, knew what would happen next, so he just decided to walk and wait for whatever the future held. Once inside the house, there was a man waiting for them and when he saw them enter, he went over to ask them how their day went. Izaki. Well, my little children, how did it go at the doctor's office? Inko. Hanomi was discovered to have a strong quirk, but not as strong as I expected. Izuku was diagnosed as quirkless. Upon hearing that one of his children did not inherit a quirk, Hizaki's face changed from happy to angry and disappointed. Izaki. Wait, what do you mean he's quirkless? You know what they'll say about me at the agency. Inko. I don't care, do whatever you want. I'm going to my room to sleep. Don't make so much noise. So Inko went to her room, leaving Izuku to his fate. Izuku whispering, bitch. And then Izuku gets punched in the face by Hizaki. Izaki. This is what happens when you don't have a damn useless quirk. Izuku. It's not my fault I don't have a quirk. But he receives a small ball of green fire. The pain wasn't too great, but it did leave a few burns. Nomi. Don't answer dad while he's scolding you. They then proceeded to beat Izuku while Inko listened to everything from her room, her face showing that she didn't care at all. The next day, Izuku's kindergarten. Izuku and Naomi had already arrived at their kindergarten when 4 children approached them. Look, why all the mystery if we know who they are, so I'll just list their names. Bakugo. Nerds, how did it go with your quirks yesterday? Well, you already know the stiff guy, no description is necessary. Raku. Yes, I want to know too, but I'd rather know yours, Izuku-kun. Well, she's just like her brother. Loud and proud. Shoto. Yeah, just say it already. Well, you already know him, so there's no need for a description. Oyuki. Brother, calm down, they'll tell you soon. She is Oyuki Todoroki and she is just like her brother. Serene, calm, and sharp. Izuku. Well, Nomi. The useless one is a damn quirkless. Summary of Izuku's entire life from kindergarten. Well, from that day on, everyone Izuku considered friends and sisters ended up hating him, and not content with that, they bullied him with both physical and psychological harm. But Izuku never changed that emotionless face he had, and that angered the group even more, since they wanted to see Izuku suffer or cry, and all of that continued until they reached middle school, where everything got worse. And what was Inko doing? Well, nothing. She just watched as her son was beaten by everyone. She just stood there with that look that said she didn't care about anything, she just stood there watching without doing anything. Summary of Izuku's life in middle school. There, everything got worse for Izuku. Now that they were teenagers, their quirks were increasing in power, and they didn't hold back, to the point that Izuku's body was covered in scars, which he covered with bandages. But hey, not everything was bad for Izuku. A girl named Nagatoro confessed her feelings to him, which Izuku accepted since he also felt something for her, until something happened. Izuku was in the computer lab, where he spent all afternoon after school, either doing homework or just wasting time. He saw on the clock that it was getting late, so he decided to put everything away, but then he noticed a DVD. Izuku. What's this? Let's see, it says here, look at me, Izuku-senpai. Ah, it must be from Nagatoro, since she's the only one who calls me that. So Izuku decides to put the DVD in. But it was already too late, and when Izuku saw it, he wished he'd never seen that DVD. On the DVD, the camera could be seen recording in the direction of some clothes that were on the bed. When Izuku saw those clothes, they seemed somewhat familiar, but he didn't think much of it. However, when he heard a woman's voice, he recognized it immediately. On the DVD. Nagatoro. That he preferred Hex to athletics. Nagatoro said this with an excited expression, and then she stuck out her tongue, revealing some semen, and then she put it back in her mouth, swallowing it, still with that excited expression. Off DVD. Izuku couldn't believe it. The girlfriend he always loved and respected was sleeping with someone else. Izuku. But what the hell is this? Tears welling up, what is this? Touching his cheek, I'm crying, but how? Then he hears a voice that he quickly recognizes. Nagatoro. So you saw it, didn't you, Izuku-senpai? It's not a job well done. Nagatoro. Bakugo-kun and Shoto-kun meet a girl at a film studio whom they once trained. Nagatoro. Also, Bakugo-chan told me to come here to see you one last time since. Nagatoro. I won't be able to stay by your side anymore, Izuku, since we're. Nagatoro. I'll live with Bakugo after all. Nagatoro. It was a pleasure being by your side, Midoriya, but I have to go now. Katsuki-chan and Shoto-chan are waiting for me. Thus Nagatoro left, leaving Izuku alone and dejected by everything that had happened, and a great anger took hold of Izuku. Izuku. Damn it. Why? Why? Because I really loved you, you damn bitch. Ha 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 ha. Thus Izuku proceeded to destroy everything he saw, not caring about the consequences and the damage he was doing to his own hands. Even after Izuku finished destroying everything, that anger was still there, and he wanted to destroy more than just an object. He wanted to destroy a person, and he already had the right one. Midoriya house. When Izuku entered his house, he saw his father with an angry face. Izaki. You damn idiot. Because of you, Inko and Nomi had to go out looking for you. But Izuku ignored him and went to the kitchen. Izaki, seeing this, only became angrier, so he went to teach Izuku a lesson. Izaki. Hey, you damn quirkless idiot, I'm talking to you, and now you've earned yourself a punishment. When Izaki touched Izuku's shoulder to turn him around and hit him, Izuku was faster and cut his throat with a knife, causing Izaki to fall to the ground with one hand on his neck, blood gushing out. Izaki. Damn, what the hell is wrong with you? But Izuku just laughed, scaring Izaki even more. Izuku. Oh, father, you have no idea how much I'm going to enjoy this. Izuku lunged at Izaki and began stabbing him mercilessly while he begged for mercy, but to no avail. The floor, the walls, the ceilings, the entire place was covered in blood, just like Izuku. After Izuku finished killing him and saw everything he had done, he felt no guilt or remorse. He definitely felt no emotion at all. All he did was throw away the knife and leave the house through the back door that led to the forest. Already in the forest. Izuku. Well, I killed my own father in cold blood, so when they find out who did it and how I escaped, I'll be a fugitive from the law. But then, out of nowhere, a blue portal opens in front of Izuku. Izuku. A portal of dubious origin opened in front of me, and if I cross that portal, who knows where it will take me. They don't know that I don't have that many options, so I'll leave it all to chance. So Izuku crossed it, and as he finished crossing it, the portal closed, taking Izuku to who knows where. Time skips. 3 months later. In an alley in Japan, a portal opens, the same color as the last time. 2 people cross through that portal, one taller than the other. According to my coordinates, this is the correct place, year, month, and day. Yes, we are in Japan, 2043. This was said by the largest figure, which was about 2 meters tall, and whose voice sounded like a robot's, and whose footsteps were like a robot's. Good, because these trips were already making me dizzy. This was said by a small figure, which was clearly human because of its voice and footsteps, and it was also noticeable that it was somewhat large, looking about 20 years old and 1.70 meters tall. Seriously, you still haven't gotten used to it, even though you're already 20 years old, Izuku. So, as you can see, our beloved Izuku has returned, but now older and more mature than before. Izuku. Shut up, Furno. Just tell me the location quickly, I'm sleepy. And he was Furno, one of the friends Izuku made in the future. Furno. I'm coming, what's the rush? No, I'm ready, I've got it. Izuku. Okay, let's activate camouflage mode. So Izuku and Furno activated their camouflage mode and went to where those coordinates indicated. And that's all for today. End of the prologue of Izuku, the hero of the future. Chapter 1 Location and Slaughter. Narrator. In the previous chapter, Izuku and Furno set out for their destination while in their camouflage, and to avoid problems, they began communicating telepathically. Izuku. Hey Furno, how much longer until we reach our destination? Furno. A few more hours. Izuku. Shit. Furno. Well, we'd get there faster if we used the dimensional portal. Izuku. You know very well what I'm like when I travel through one of those portals. Furno. Izuku, it's that or lose the chance to find out if our target is there or not. Izuku, faced with what his friend said, could not deny that it was true. Izuku. Ha, fine, let's use that damn portal. Furno. That's good because I had already activated it. Thus Izuku and Furno crossed a portal to get closer to their goal. In another location, more specifically a building with the initials USJ, screams, explosions, and loud bangs were heard. What is all that? Well. The students of classroom 1A went to rescue training, but what they didn't expect was that villains appeared. The students thought they were fake villains, but that was ruled out when their teacher, Aizawa Shota, and a heroine named Number 13, told them that they weren't fake villains. Among the most prominent villains were a giant chicken, a guy covered in hands, a dark cloud shaped like a hand, and finally, a guy completely headed in a dark trench coat. Shigaraki. Good afternoon, heroes. We are the League of Villains, and we have come to kill Almight. So speak up. Where is he, or you will die? Shota. Almight isn't here, and you'd be crazy to tell you. Shigaraki. Then Nomu, kill them all. Just as the Nomu was about to attack, a portal opened above him, and Izuku fell out of it wearing his Phase 1 armor, which is the one on the cover of the story, and wielding his sword to cut off the Nomu's arm. His sword. When the Nomu saw them, it was too late. Izuku had already cut off its arm, making the Nomu scream in pain. Izuku. Blue incineration power up to 10, placing his hand on his chest. And when Izuku finished saying that, his palm began to ignite with blue fire, and as it did, his palm expelled a torrent of blue fire, taking the Nomu with it and burning some villains alive. The hooded figure, feeling the heat, raised his head slightly and saw whose fire it was. One of his eyes glowed red, while red rays emanated from it. And behind Izuku, his friend falls from the portal. Izuku. Okay, here's the plan. You take care of the villains, and I'll take care of that giant thing that's regenerating. Furno. Wait, Izuku, have you seen the hooded figure? That must be him. Izuku. Maybe this shouldn't be overlooked. When you have the slightest opportunity, knock him out, tie him up, and bring him here. Furno. Understood. So the two friends went and did what they had planned. Furno had a shield for a hand, which was very effective as it protected him from powerful attacks. It had laser beams that melted or pulverized anything and saw blades on each side. On his other arm, he had his hand, with which he grabbed villains, smashing their heads or sawing them in half. Even if they threw fire at him or hit him with their active quirks, nothing affected him, since he and his siblings were made to withstand all kinds of quirks, from the weakest to the strongest. He was designed for that purpose, as in the future quirks were no longer as popular and had become useless thanks to Izuku's team, who were called the Phantom Troop, and Furno's team, who were called the Anti-Quirk Team, which was more popular than the heroes of the future themselves. And what about the two teachers and the good students? They were terrified by the brutality, blood, and guts scattered everywhere. Some fainted, urinated, or vomited. Furno. Ha, you faggots, I can't believe they're heroes. The good thing is that in the future they're all dead. Now with Izuku. Izuku. Alright, whatever you are, give me your best shot. When Nomu finally recovered, he lunged at Izuku, but Izuku had already vanished, confusing the Nomu. However, Nomu reappeared behind him, cutting off the Nomu's arm again. This time, he made sure it couldn't regenerate by burning the area where he had burned the arm, thus carbonizing all the regenerative cells. Izuku. Hey, I said when they say break an arm it's break, not cut off your arm hahaha. No. Izuku. Okay, you don't like jokes. I'll shut up then. At that point, Furno communicates telepathically with the Furno. Izuku, I've finished what I was doing, and I've identified the hooded figure, and yes, it's him, but we have to go, more heroes are approaching. Izuku. Alright, next time we find him we have to come up with a plan alright, you disgusting thing, I'm already stressed out, so I'll kill you quickly, Blue Lava 5. Just as Izuku said, he began throwing blue lava at the Nomu, melting it completely. Shigaraki. "Nu, you bastards will pay for this." Just as Shigaraki was about to lunge at them, the hooded figure stopped him. Hooded figure. No, there's no time, the heroes are approaching, we have to go." The hooded figure's breathing was somewhat rough. He seemed to be having some difficulty speaking, as his words could be heard in short broken phrases. Shigaraki. "If that's the case, then we have to go to Kurajire and check the portal." Kurajire. "At your service, young masters." Thus the only survivors of the massacre left through the purple portal. Izuku. "Furno, we have to do the same too." Furno. "Understood." So Izuku and Furno left through the portal they had come from, and when the portal closed, the other heroes arrived, but upon seeing the great massacre, they all shouted in unison, "One!" Everyone. What the hell just happened here? End of. Chapter 1. Chapter 2 Information and Search. Location. Academic UA. Office of Director Nezu. Nezu. Let me see if I understood correctly. Some villains came out of a purple portal, which was created by a guy in elegant clothes and made of purple mist. Then more villains came out, but the most prominent were a giant chicken and a guy with hands all over his body, who wanted to kill Almight. And when they were about to start fighting, out of nowhere a 2-meter tall robot and another robot that was 1.70 meters tall came out of a blue portal. They started killing the villains and defeating a monster that was designed to kill Almight with just a few blows. All the top 10 heroes, the teachers, and a mummy version of Izawa nodded. Almight. Well, if you put it that way it's hard to believe, but we live in a world where powers exist, so I don't see it as so far-fetched. Nezu. You're right, Almight. Endeavor. In case you didn't notice in the recordings, the giant robot seemed unaffected by quirks, as you can see him being attacked with different types of quirks and nothing happening. Also, when the villains approached him, his quirk stopped working. Nezu. A robot with a quirk, wow, that's interesting. Almight. Director Nezu, that's absurd. A robot with quirks. What is that, please? Ryukyo. Almight, this time I agree with Principal Nezu. You also saw his short companion who could throw fire and lava. Besides, we're in an era where quirks can also be created through experiments, so I don't see it as that absurd. Almight. You may be right, but until it's proven, it will remain a theory. Virko. So, how do you plan to capture them, or rather find them, since we have absolutely no idea where they are or what they're doing right now? Our protagonists were hiding in an abandoned vault, and inside it were hundreds of technological artifacts. Furno was at a large computer, looking at the entire city to see if there was anything suspicious to investigate. Izuku was talking to someone. Only the voice could be heard, which was male. Izuku. Yes sir, I'm at 70%. It's the commander, no doubt about it. Furno and I felt that same presence the last time we faced him. Here it is. I'm sending you the data so you can confirm what I'm saying. So Izuku proceeded to send the data they had collected from their target. Commander. Okay, once the data has been confirmed that it really is him, the rest of your team will proceed to his location where they can devise a plan to stop him. Izuku. Okay, Commander. For now, I'll be gathering more information and sending it to you. Commander. Understood outside. Thus ending the call. Furno. And they told you so. Izuku. They say that once it's confirmed that it's him, they'll send the rest of our team to our location. Furno. What do we do now? Izuku. You keep an eye on the city from here, I'll go out and watch it from the outside. Furno. Okay. So Izuku proceeded and began jumping from building to building. Then Izuku stopped because in front of him was a building larger than the others. Izuku. Well, I hope no one sees me. At that moment, Izuku puts his hands on the ground. Izuku. Blue incineration 10. Thus Izuku began to fly thanks to his fire until he reached the building where he extinguished his fire and stood at the edge of the building. Izuku. Wow, the city looks beautiful from here, especially at night, right? Whoever you are, you'd better come out of your hiding place or I'll kill you. What kind of killer hero? Izuku. And who said I'm a hero? Speak up, who are you? I am the hero killer Stain. Izuku. That doesn't ring a bell, but it doesn't matter. What do you want with me? Stain. I've come to kill you, don't take it personally. Izuku. It was to be expected. Thus Izuku proceeded to summon his sword from the first chapter. Izuku. Furno, you're seeing this, aren't you? Furno. If that's the case. Izuku. Okay, let me know if someone else comes to attack me. Furno. Understood. Thus Izuku and the hero killer Stain began to fight with their swords. End of. Chapter 2. Chapter 3. Izuku vs the heroes killer vs the heroes. Narrator. In the previous chapter, Izuku is about to face Stain, the hero killer. Izuku. Well, tell me what you have against me, because as far as I know, I haven't done anything to you yet. Stain. Don't take it personally. Someone hired me to kill you. Izuku. Let me guess, the one who hired you is a guy with hands all over his body and another one made of purple smoke, and they call themselves the League of Villains. Stain was surprised to hear that, since he thought no one else knew who hired him. Stain. How do you know that? Speak up. Izuku. It was to be expected, let's just say that the first time we met he melted his favorite toy, but tell me, is it true that he's the real leader, or is he just a hooded figure? By the way, did you see that hooded figure? Stain. Yes, there was a hooded figure with him. Every time he looked up, you could see red eyes, and they emitted the occasional red beam. His voice sounded distorted, as it was difficult to hear him speak. But no, he's not the leader. I didn't see the real leader, only his voice, since he was speaking through a television. Izuku. Okay, thanks for the information, I really needed it. Stain. There is no damn it, now I'm going to kill you for the information I gave you. Izuku. But I only asked you one thing and you spilled the beans. Stain. Because tonight will be the night you die. Thus Izuku and Stain launched themselves, their swords clashing against each other, sparks flying with each collision. Even from afar, their mastery of the sword was evident. Stain. I must admit you have good swordsmanship. Izuku. Thanks for the compliment, but I don't have that much time. But before they could continue, he had to cut some bandages that were coming towards him. Izuku. Well, look what the night has brought us, a miserable hero. Identify yourself, hero. I am the night hero Head, and you are under arrest for the USJ bombing. Izuku. Oh, sorry, what's up with the other one? Can't you see him? Head. The only one I see here is you, nobody else. Izuku. But what the hell are you talking about? He's right here. When Izuku turned around to where Stain had been, he was no longer there. Izuku. What a wimp, he got away. Then Izuku gets tangled up in a bunch of tapes. Head. Now you will come with me. Izuku. That's what you think, you blue flames to me. As Izuku said that, he burst into blue flames, burning the tapes. But since I erased your quirk. Izuku. That's right, you thought you'd erased it. Well, that's what you thought. This power can't be erased or removed. Okay, enough talk. Flamethrower 5. As Izuku said that, he extended his hands, and a multitude of flames erupted from his palms, which narrowly dodged. Damn, my bandages and my quirk are useless right now. I have to put a GPS tracker on him and go back with reinforcements. Well, whoever you are, I'll take my leave for now, but I warn you that I'll be back with reinforcements. Thus activates a smoke bomb, disappearing, but not before sticking a GPS device in Izuku's back before he notices. Izuku. Damn, I can't see anything, but oh well. Since I already have important information about my target and some information about that league, it's time to go to the base. And so Izuku flew away thanks to his fire, which was still active. Elsewhere, the same hooded figure could be seen staring into space. Vivid a name. Very soon we'll meet again Izuku Kusanagi, just wait until I'm like the first time we met and you'll see what I'm made of. End of. Chapter 3. Chapter 4 Contract. Narrator. Now we find ourselves in Izuku Inferno's hideout, only they were asleep. Well, only Izuku was asleep, Inferno had already turned off. Just then, Izuku's alarm sounds, indicating that it's already daytime. Izuku. Inferno, turn that shit off already Inferno, I said turn that shit off, looking at him, it's off. So Izuku proceeded to turn off his phone alarm and went to turn on Inferno, succeeding in this. Inferno. Yano, good morning Izuku, how did you sleep today? Izuku. To be honest, I didn't sleep at all last night. I was gathering all the information I collected yesterday. And what did you discover? Inferno. Well, I discovered that UA is the school with the most attacks, so I've come up with a plan. Izuku. Tell me more. Inferno. Well, what do you think about going to UA, convincing the principal that we're here to protect them, and then when there's another villain attack and our target is there, we'll capture her, go back to our timeline, and leave the heroes to their fate. What do you think? Izuku. I like it to be honest, but I don't plan on going to UA voluntarily. I'd rather they come to me than me to them. Inferno. And how do you plan to do that? I doubt they'll come knocking on our door. At that moment, there was a knock on the warehouse door. Izuku. Haha, what were you saying? Inferno. I doubt it's them. Izuku. Inferno, put everything away, we're not going to UA. So Izuku went to open the door, where upon opening it, he had to dodge a burst of fire. Izuku. Wow, I thought the conversation came first and then the fight, but it seems they do things the other way around here. Endeavor. We don't talk to villains, so you'd better surrender, one way or another. Izuku. I prefer the hard way, so it's better if you entertain me, you two-bit heroes. Izuku and the heroes were about to launch into battle, but then Furno, who had finished packing everything, deactivated the powers of all the heroes except Izuku's. Furno. Either everyone calms down or I'll calm them down myself. Mirko. Who do you think you are, you piece of tin? And what happened to our quirks? Furno. Your quirks were deactivated thanks to me, and please, I ask for more respect towards me. Mirko. Or what a piece of tin. At that moment, Mirko receives a blow to the cheek from Furno, falling unconscious to the ground. Furno. I warn her, and if the others don't want to end up like her, we'd better head towards UA. Ryukyo. And why do you want to go to UA? Izuku. To make a deal with his principal, so we'd better get going. Thus the heroes and Furno Izuku left, but not before carrying Mirko, who was knocked out by the blow she gave Furno. Time skips to UA. Director Nezu's office. Nezu. So, it seems the government's top brass sent you here along with your robot friend to be with our guardians. Izuku. Yep, towards it. Nezu. It's a bit hard to believe, but it's fine. And to put my mind at ease, you two will be monitored 24 hours a day, just to be sure. Furno. There's no problem at all. Izuku. Then it's a pleasure to do business with you, my dear decoy, no, that's clients. Nezu. Uekizawa, why don't you bring our guests to meet your students? Shota. Okay, come with me. While crawling on the floor thanks to his blanket. Izuku. Okay Furno, let's follow that giant caterpillar with a sleepy face. Furno. I'm coming after you. In classroom 1A, the group of young heroes was waiting for their teacher, and the door to their classroom was opened by their teacher himself, who came crawling in. Izawa. Alright everyone, sit down and be quiet. As you can see, we witnessed a villain attack, and that's why the High Command sent us some guards. Please come in. Furno was the first to pass. Furno. Good afternoon everyone, my name is Furno, and it's a pleasure to meet you all. The next one to pass was Izuku, who was wearing his vigilante outfit the whole time. Izuku. Good afternoon, I am the assassin B3X, but my real name is Izuku Kusanagi. 4 people were shocked to hear that name. Deku Oni-chan. End of. Chapter 4. Chapter 5 I am not the same as before. Narrator. In the previous chapter, Izuku and Furno managed to convince Principal Nezu that they were bodyguards sent by the higher command, and Nezu then assigned them to Classroom 1A, where they were guided by Professor Izawa Shota, also known as Harasser Head. Upon entering, Furno was the first to introduce himself, followed by Izuku, and 5 people were shocked to hear that name. Today's chapter. Nomi. Oni-cha, is that really you? With teary eyes and clenched fists. He takes off his mask. Izuku. What do you think, bitch? And don't you ever call me that again. Nomi. Oni-chan, I will kill you. Nomi lunged at Izuku with a fist engulfed in green fire, but just as she was about to land a blow, she was slammed to the ground, knocked out in the process by Furno. Izuku. Ha, thanks Furno. I don't feel like fighting today. Furno. You're welcome. By the way, their birthday is in a week, in case you didn't know. Izuku. Yeah, I know. They said they're coming here with the team to see what the past was like. But before they could continue, a scream was heard. Izuku. Who the hell is yelling? My head hurts. Buck, I hate when I don't sleep well. Furno. And what was the reason you didn't sleep? Izuku. I was sending the new report to the boss of you-know-who. Furno. Aoki. Bakugo. Don't ignore me you damn nerd shiny. Just as he was about to jump, Izawa tied him up with bandages. Shota. Alright, that's enough. And you, pointing at Izuku, why did Nomi call you Oni-chan? Are you siblings? And why did she want to kill you? Izuku. No, I don't know her, nor this Muslim here, nor his sister, nor those 2 bi-colored ones who are looking at me, one angrily and the other with teary eyes. Shota. So how do you know they're brothers? Izuku. Because they're almost exactly the same. You'd have to be blind or stupid enough not to notice. But anyway, let's get down to business. She stands on top of a knocked out Nomi. Izuku. Very well, you were recently attacked by villains, and since the sports festival is approaching, the government's top brass sent us to protect you, so feel safe. Questions. Then someone raises their hand. Izuku. The one with blue hair, ask your question. Iida. Well, I wanted to know if you're a squad or just you guys, and what you do when you're not being bodyguards. Izuku. Well, to answer your first question, we're a pretty big squad. Half of us are robots like the one in front of you, and the other half are humans like me, but we're all led by someone we call the Major. Izuku. And for your second question, we handle suicide missions or when it's necessary to kill the enemy. Momo. But killing people is wrong, that's why they don't make heroes. Izuku. Girl, do we look like heroes? Besides, work is work and I get paid well. Momo. So they only do this for the money, they don't care about the people they kill. Izuku. No, no, we don't care at all. Well, I don't know about this one. Looking at Furno. Furno. I'm a robot just like my team, so we take advantage of that. Momo. They're monsters, did you know that? Izuku. Yes, 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 whatever you say. Let's go. The principal wants us in the training room. So everyone went to training, but not before going to the locker rooms to change. In the training room. Izuku. Alright, you bunch of useless kids, today's training will all take place against me. Iida. Mr. Izuku, don't you think that would be an advantage for us, since there are 20 of us and only one of you? Izuku. Hey, who do you think you're talking to? Quick, I don't have all day. So Izuku proceeded to get into a fighting stance. Izuku. So come at me with everything, bitches. Bakugo was the first to jump in, as always. Bakugo. Die you damn nerd Shinii. He launched an explosion which Izuku easily dodged, disappeared in a whirlwind of fire, and reappeared on top of Bakugo, kicking him so hard he slammed to the ground, knocking him unconscious. Izuku. Good, one less, 19 to go. Okay, I'm too lazy now, I'll just put the most important fight, which is Izuku's fight with his former friends and sister, and let's say he's already defeated the others. Izuku. Well, I guess it's just you guys left. Are you going to stay there or are you going to fight? Shoto. How, shit, you defeated everyone. You're useless, and useless people can't do that. At that moment, Shoto unleashed a torrent of fire combined with his ice side, and Oyuki, Nomi, and Raku did the same, all of them launching their strongest combined attacks. Whereas with Izuku, well, he just had to raise his hand and say. Izuku. Blue incineration too. As I said that, a torrent of blue fire shot out, but the difference in power was great. Izuku's fire was winning, even though they were giving it their all, well Izuku didn't care about anything. Nomi. How is this possible? Shoto. How should I know? Increase the power even more. The 3 high. Thus, their attacks increased even more, well with Izuku. Izuku. Seriously, is that all you can do? If you disappoint me, blue incineration 20. When Izuku said that, his fire became so powerful that it swept everything away, defeating them. Well, only the 3 of them remained. Only Nomi was left, but she was in bad shape and lying on the floor. Then Izuku approaches and puts his foot on Nomi's head. Izuku. Wow, I really didn't expect anything from you guys, and yet you still ended up disappointing me. And tell me, Inko, is she still alive and living with you? Nomi. What do you think, you damn thing? Why do you want to know? Izuku. Well, tell her this. Her beloved son will soon be paying her a visit to settle some accounts, and when I've settled my accounts with them, I'll take her to Hisashi, and then you'll be safe. Izuku. Furno, you know what to do. Moving away from Nomi, Furno approaches. Furno. Good night, bitch. Thus Furno proceeded to kick Nomi's head in, knocking her out of the fight. Izuku. Alright, that's all for now. I love you all tomorrow at the same time, and don't disappoint me again. Thus Izuku and Furno proceeded to go to their rooms, which were made by Nezu, thus ending their training. End of. Chapter 5. Chapter 6. Izuku's team will come today. Narrator. After the previous chapter of Izuku's humiliation of Class 1A, we now find Izuku and Furno watching all the final preparations for the sports festival. Izuku. So their arrival was brought forward and they're arriving today, right? Furno. Yes, that's right. According to what the boss told me, the information you gave him was more than enough to send them here. Izuku. That's great, at least they'll be able to see the sports festival. Furno. If you don't think we should help. Izuku. If we're already helping, just observing how things are going, for me that's already helping. Furno. If you're right, you want to see the Class 1A training. Izuku. Come on, there's nothing left to do here, so let's go. So Izuku and Furno headed to where Class 1A was, and when they arrived they saw them training with their teacher. Izuku. I must admit that his training is somewhat depressing. Furno. You have no idea. So Izuku and Furno went to where Izawa was. Izuku. Hero heard, tell me how your students are doing in this training. Izawa. Well, so far so good. It's time for break. Very good students, it's time for break. Izuku. We were only given 15 minutes to eat, that's all. But then 2 girls approached Izuku, and upon recognizing them, he cursed his luck. Izuku. What do you 2 want? Oyuki. Well, we wanted to tell you something a long time ago, but we couldn't, but now we can. Raku. And that's it. Oyuki. Raku. We like you to be our boyfriend. Silence was the only sound in the entire courtyard. Everyone was completely surprised and their mouths were open. Furno was laughing his head off and Izuku had his typical "I don't give a damn" face. Izuku? What? Oyuki? Didn't you hear us? We like you. Furno? Wait, let me tell her. Izuku? You're not going to tell anyone anything, and getting back to you guys, if you know I'm older than you, I'm 20 or 25, do you want to put me in jail or what? Raku? But there are no ages for love. Izuku? Yeah, and I'm not going to believe that bucking nonsense, and besides, I'm married. He said this while taking an engagement ring out of his pocket and putting it on his finger. Izuku? And I have 3 daughters, 2 teenagers and 1 who's 5 years old, so screw you all. And if I weren't married, I would never, ever be your boyfriend. At those words, you could hear some hearts breaking, and Furno and Izawa were dying of laughter. Rakuoyuki? What? Izuku? Yes, you heard. They're coming today with my team. Well, if that's all, I'll leave you to your training. Furno, let's go. Furno? Well, it was fun and all, but we're leaving now. But then an alarm sounds throughout the school, indicating that an intruder has entered. Izuku? It must be them. Furno? How are you so sure it's them? Izuku? Furno, by now you should know that I'm always right. So Izuku and Furno went along with the students and the teacher to where the alarm indicated, and upon arriving, they could see all the teachers and students from other classes looking at a blue portal which Izuku quickly recognized. Izuku, wait. Almight. What's wrong now? Can't you see we're busy? Izuku? The thing is, that's the portal our team is coming to today, you idiots. Nezu? Then why didn't you say so before? Izuku? Well, Furno and I were surprised too, since they were supposed to come in a week. Then 2 people come out of the portal and rush towards Izuku like projectiles, knocking him down. Dad, Papa. Everyone 1A and Izawa. Dad. Izuku. Gali, Poka, how have my 2 dears been? And your other sister? Here I am, Dad. Izuku. Lucy, how are you, my little rebel? Almight. Let's see what's going on here. Izuku. Well, these 3 are my daughters. Daughters, introduce yourselves. Ali. Hi, I'm Gali, but my friends call me Alita. Ali is a fun, cheerful and curious teenager with short hair, half cyborg and half human, with red eyes. She is adopted along with her 2 sisters. Poka. Hello, I'm Poka and it's a pleasure to meet you. Poka is just like her older brother in personality. She was born blind, but Izuku helped her train her other senses. Lucy. Well, I'm Lucy, the oldest of the 3, and if you don't like me, tough luck. Lucy, she is the oldest of the 3, her attitude is that of a typical rebellious girl, and she is serious with those she doesn't know or who don't inspire her trust. Then more people come out of the portal along with other robots just like Furno. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I am Estromer, leader of my team. I am Nex, Stromer's right-hand man. I am Breeze, the woman of the group, the good one, the female robot. I am Evo, the handsome one of this group. And I'm Surge, the cheerful one of the group. Furno. And I'm Furno. Well, I already introduced myself, but I'm the smart one of the group and we're the anti-Quirk squad. Alright, now it's our turn. I'm Desu Karamaki, the one in charge of all this. I am Motoko Kusanagi, but you should call me Major Kusanagi, and I am also Izuku's wife. Well, I hope working with you all is fun. I'm Batu. Good afternoon everyone, I am Tagusa, the informant of everything. I hope you heroes aren't a hindrance, or I'll blow your heads off. That's right, Ishikawa, the one who knows about weapons. And I'm Saito, the group sniper. And lastly, I am Purin Asaki, the intelligence and hacker of the group, and we are the Ghost Squad. Nezu. It's a pleasure to meet you all, but what is the reason for your sight? Daisuke. Well, you all know about the League of Villains, right? Nezu. If that's the case. Daisuke. Well, the League of Villains doesn't recruit anyone, and that person is the one we've been looking for. That's why we sent Izuku and Furno to investigate if our suspicions were true, and they were. That's why we're here, and because we were curious about what the famous hero school and its sports festival were like. Nezu. Well then, come with me and I'll tell you everything you need to know. Motoko. You guys go ahead, I have things to talk to Izuku about. Approaching Izuku, who was talking to his daughters. Motoko. Girls, can you leave your father alone and go explore the place with your uncles? I have something important to talk to him about. Poka. Okay, mommy, come here, Gali, I want to see the whole place. Pulling him by the hand. Gali. Okay, come on Lucy. Lucy. Yes, I'm coming. Motoko. So Lucy, take good care of your sisters, you know how curious they are. Lucy. Okay, mom, have fun with dad. She leaves to catch up with her sisters. Motoko. Of course I will. Well, Izuku Furno told me that some girls confess their feelings to you, and on top of that, they're the ones who made your life miserable. Anything you have to say in your defense? Izuku. I rejected them because I only have eyes for you, and besides, I forgave the people who made your life impossible. Seriously, what kind of idiot would do that? Motoko. Yes, you're right, but I have to mark my territory, and let's just say I'm a little needy, so don't think you're going to get rid of me, Izukai too. Izuku. Wait, why can't we talk like the normal people we are? Motoko. Izuku, it's best not to avoid the inevitable, so just relax and cooperate. Izuku. Well, since I'm all yours, woman. So Motoko proceeded to carry Izuku like a sack of potatoes while being watched by Furno. Furno. Poor devil, he won't fare well after this. Well, wait for me, guys. Running to catch up with their group. End of. Chapter 6. Chapter 7 Sports Festival Part 1 Obstacle Course. Narrator. Now we find Izuku's team, who were seated in VIP seats provided by Nezu, so they could have a better view of the sports festival. Ali. Wow, look at the number of people who came to see this. Lucy. I know, sister. It's a shame Poka can't see this. Without feeling sorry for her sister. Poka. Don't worry, sisters. Uncle Strummer and Aunt Purin told me there was a way for me to see again. That too? Like that and like a little one. Poka. Well, they told me they're designing a new type of bandage that gives you the ability to see and can also be used for espionage operations. Next. Hey, don't you think Motoko and Izuku are taking too long? Breeze. Let them be, Nex. You know very well how Motoko is with Izuku. Furno. And speaking of the kings of Rome. When everyone turned towards the door, they could see Izuku and Motoko looking somewhat sweaty and disheveled. Evo. I see you've all caught up, haven't you? Izuku. No comment please. Sitting down. Motoko. And have they already started or what? Sitting next to Izuku and his daughters. Daisuke. Not yet, but it won't be long now. It seems that, based on what I've heard, the first event will be an obstacle course, followed by cavalry, and finally, combat. Izuku. Well, let's hope they don't disappoint us. Then a voice began to be heard throughout the stadium, and it was none other than Professor Present Mick. Present Mick. Good morning my dear viewers. Today I will be your narrator along with my good friend Izawa, who is asleep right now. Present Mick. And now we'll have the presentations of all the classes, and the first to come out is class 1A and 1B. And so each class was named until the first activity arrived. Present Mick. And to start the day, we'll begin with an obstacle course. The use of quirks is allowed, but you must not seriously injure your opponent. Leave that for the fights. And killing them is also not allowed. Present Mick. So run like your lives depend on it. Thus the gates opened, giving the students permission to run. Present Mick. And the winner of the first activity of the sports festival is Nomi Midoriya. The crowd celebrated Nomi's first victory. With Izuku and his team. Saito. Izuku, you have to admit that your sister managed to win. Izuku. You're right, good guys. The next activity will be in 20 minutes. Do you want to go get something to eat in the cafeteria? Lucy. Oh yes please, I'm starving. Motoko. Yes, I think Poka is hungry too. He said it as he began to carry her. Poka. Yes, mommy, I'm very hungry. Bigusa. Well, I also want to go see if they sell any coffee. So our beloved team went straight to the cafeteria to eat something while the other activity of the sports festival began. Chapter 8 The Sports Festival Part 2 Cavalry. Narrator. Now we find ourselves in the UA cafeteria where our team was eating, well, only Izuku and his team, while Furno and the robotic brothers were playing strength, but Izuku's daughters, Motoko and Purin, felt somewhat uncomfortable since they were being watched by the whole cafeteria. Poka. Because I feel like a lot of people are watching us. The reason she feels like she's being watched or followed is thanks to her other enhanced senses and a much more advanced echolocation than a slime, thanks to Izuku and his family. Motoko. Well, daughter, it's because. She is interrupted by Lucy. Lucy. Because the people in this cafe have never seen a woman like us and I bet they're imagining all sorts of dirty things about us, like the bucking virgins they are. Ali. Lucy, don't swear in front of Poka, but I won't deny that it's true. Motoko. Izuku, aren't you going to do anything? You already know that. Izuku. Furno and I have been designing a plan for that. But before they could continue talking, a hand slammed loudly on their table. Izuku. Hey, what's up now, whoever you are? After finishing his prayer, he is given a slap by Motoko. Motoko. Poka language is here you know. Izuku. Yes, sorry, but seriously, who are you guys? He said this referring to those who banged their hands loudly on the table. Bakugo. You damn nerd, have you forgotten who I am? Bagusa. Who is he? He seems like he knows the tea. Izuku. Nope, I don't remember, so I can't tell you for sure. But then he heard a scream from one of Izuku and Mitoko's daughters, and when he turned around he saw Gali trying to get away from a dwarf with purple hair who was trying to grope her. Gali. Get off me, you damn perverted dwarf. Attempting to struggle to get Mineta off him. Mineta. Come on, sweetheart, you won't regret it, I promise. Just let me grope you. But before he could finish, he was knocked to the ground by Izuku, leaving him unconscious. Then Izuku picked him up with his hand and placed him in front of Bakugo. Izuku. Hey, this little shit is yours. Bakugo. He's just a classmate, but… Before he could form his words, he fixed his gaze on Izuku's wife and daughters, forming a twisted smile on his face. Bakugo. You know we're leaving now, the festival's about to start. So one more thing, take good care of your wife and daughters, Izuku, because it would be a shame if anything happened to them. As he left and was already far away from Izuku, he called someone. Bakugo. Hey Shoto, I have some news and I'm sure you like it. With Izuku. Izuku. Are you okay, daughter? He didn't do anything bad to you. Ali. No, Dad, I'm fine. Thank you. But then Furno leans close to Izuku's ear. Furno. Hey Izuku, the guys and I think that guy is planning something, and besides, he doesn't give off a good vibe, so we'll keep an eye on him, okay? Izuku. Okay, if he does anything suspicious, tell me immediately, okay? Furno Oki. Basuk. Well, that's a bit annoying, but it's time to go back to our places. The festival is about to start. If you haven't eaten yet, bring your food, but let's go. Then everyone went to their places to continue watching the sports festival. Already at the sports festival. Present Mick. And here we are again my dear spectators, and we come with a new active, and that is the cavalry. So Mick proceeded to explain what it was about and said that Nomi had 1000 points, thus making everyone her enemies. Mick. So you only have 5 minutes to find your team. So everyone proceeded to form a team, but the one who found it difficult was Nomi, since she would be the center of attention for all the contestants. But Izuku. Izuku. Poor ugly little thing, look at her all alone, nobody wants her on her team. Motoko. Yes, very unfortunate in my opinion. But, as if by magic, Nomi found a team just minutes later. Saito. He barely managed to get a team. Atu. Alright, let's see how they managed to free themselves from the other contestants. And so the cavalry began. Just pay attention to the cavalry part. I'll handle Izuku and Shoto's conversation. Atu. Well, I must admit, Izuku has the same luck as you when you're in serious trouble. Izuku. You're right, but I want to see if that luck will continue to be on his side for what's to come in the future. Izuku. Well, I'm going to the bathroom. I have things to do. Motoko. I'll go with you, girls. Behave yourselves while we're gone. So Izuku and Motoko headed for the baths. Lucy Boat Kiln. And that concludes this chapter for today. End of Chapter 8. Chapter 9 The Sports Festival Part 3. The Fights. Narrator. We find Izuku and Motoko in the bathrooms, but what are they doing? Well, you'll see in a moment. Izuku. Motoko, are you sure about doing this here? Motoko. Don't worry Izuku, I know what I'm doing. Unbuttoning Izuku's pants, he was left only in his boxers, which revealed a large bulge. Lemon skipped. Motoko. I hope you enjoyed it as much as Izuku did and that your stress has decreased. Izuku. Yes, I don't feel as stressed as before, thanks Motoko. Motoko. Well, that's what your wife is for, to please you and fulfill all your whims and fetishes, from the normal to the weirdest. Izuku. That gives me an idea, but I'll try it later. I think the fight started a while ago. Izuku. You get ready while I wait for you outside. Motoko. Okay, I won't take long to get ready. So Izuku proceeded to leave the baths and wait for Motoko at the entrance while she got ready. But then Izuku sees someone approaching, and it's none other than Shoto Todoroki. Shoto. Well, look what I found here. Izuku. What do you want, Shoto Todoroki? Shoto. Wow, and that coldness, not even a hug. But since I was looking for your two daughters, Lucy and Gali, yes, them, but since I couldn't find them, well, I came to look for your wife. Shoto. And from what I can imagine, he must be there, pointing to the bathroom where Izuku was leaning, making Izuku angry. Shoto. Judging by your expression, she must be there, so if you'll excuse me, I'll pay her a long and enjoyable visit. But before Shoto could take the first step, Izuku punched him in the stomach, then grabbed him by the hair and slammed him against the wall. Knocking him out. Izuku. If you can still hear me, if you come near one of my daughters, Purin, or my wife, you're dead. Then Motoko comes out, all fixed up, and sees everything that happened. Motoko. Problems with the past. Izuku. Don't worry, they're not a big deal. Come on, let's go. The guys must be asking about us. So Izuku and Motoko proceeded to leave. But the boys. They were watching the battles, somewhat bored, since for them it was like watching children playing but with superpowers. Furno. This is boring, don't you think Izuku and Motoko are taking too long? Stormer. Let them be. Furno, they're still young and they want to make love all the time. But then the door opens, revealing the aforementioned individuals. Atu. And speaking of the kings of Rome, here they are. Izuku. Okay guys, it's not that big of a deal, you know. And how have the fights been? Evo. Totally boring beyond belief. Nex. Hey, but we'll see your ex-sister fight against a boy with two-toned hair. But then Present Mick speaks. Present Mick. My dear viewers, I have been informed that the match cannot take place, so Nomi Midoriya will now enter the fight. But before she could finish speaking, Nomi spoke. Nomi. Wait. I want to choose my opponent and I want my opponent to be Izuku Kusanagi. I want to face our father's killer. The audience was shocked to hear that. The girl had said that her own brother had killed her father. Asuke. Wow, this is unexpected. What do you say, Izuku? When Izuku turned around, he was gone and appeared in front of the arena in a whirlwind of fire. Asuke. I think we already know the results of this, don't we? Everyone? Yes. On the sand. Izuku. Well, here I am. What do you want? Nomi, with her head down, said something that couldn't be heard. Izuku. Sorry, what did you say? I didn't hear you properly. Nomi, with her head bowed, would say it again. Nomi. Why? You're still mom's favorite, tell me why, damn it, mom never stops comparing me to you. Izuku would have gotten a better grade, Izuku would have done better, Izuku here, Izuku that, Izuku there, she kept comparing me to you, and when you escaped after killing our father I thought that. Nomi. Mom would stop buying me from you, but it was worse. She always confused my name with yours. So tell me, why are you her favorite? I was supposed to be her favorite, not you. But before she could continue speaking, she was knocked out with a single blow by Izuku, who, judging by his face, looked confused and disappeared in a whirlwind of fire, reappearing with his team. Izuku. That was weird. Lucy. Very strange, I'd say. Time skips. After the fights ended, the winners were being announced. It was all just like in the anime, you know. But Iida and Nomi weren't there. Iida's parents called because his brother was in the hospital, and Nomi got a call from the hospital because her mother was seriously ill. But we'll get to that later. But Izuku's team. Furno. Well Izuku, you discovered that you're your mother's favorite, the one your sister never liked, hahaha. Stormer. And tell me what you're going to do, Izuku. Izuku. Motoko and I will go to my mother's to clear some things up while you guys plan the Bronx capture. I'm counting on you. Furno. Just leave it to us, everything will be alright. Izuku. Oh, and one more thing, girls, you're coming too, and I won't take no for an answer, understood? The 3. Understood daddy father old man. And so this chapter ends. Tell me, people, what you thought of the prologue to the Izuku X Urza story. Rate it from 1 to 10. End of. Chapter 9. Chapter 10 Goodbye Inko Midoriya. Narrator. We find Izuku and his family outside UA talking about a specific topic. Izuku. Well, I don't know how I'm going to do this. The only thing I had in mind when I met her again was to take out my gun and shoot her in a part of her body, enough so that she would suffer that pain and bleed to death. Izuku. But what Nomi told me has really confused me. Did she really hate me, or was she just pretending? I'm really confused. At that moment, Motoko intertwined her hand with Izuku's and with her other hand guided it to Izuku's cheek, making him look at her. Motoko. Izuku, listen to me, and I want you to listen carefully. If your mother truly loved you, she would have protected you and given everything for you, not left you to your fate. Motoko. So listen to me, you will take that weapon and do what you had planned from the beginning. Izuku. You're right, Motoko, I don't know what I was thinking. But then Izuku's phone starts ringing, and when he takes it out of his pocket, he sees that he's being called, but it's from an unknown number. So he decided to answer the call, but he was on alert in case something happened. Izuku. Hello, who is it? Nomi from the phone. It's me, I'm at the hospital, I'll send you her location, mom wants to see you quickly. Izuku. Wait, Nomi, how did you get this number? It's like Inko's in the hospital. But before he could continue the call, it was cut off and he received a message with the hospital's location. Izuku. Alright family, change of plans, we have to go to the hospital. After Izuku said that, they went to get into the car, which is this one. Izuku. Alright, let's get started then. And so Izuku and his family went straight to the hospital. Nomi was already waiting for him at the hospital entrance. When Izuku saw her, he went over to her. "Izuku? Well, here I am. What happened that made you call me, and how did you get my phone number if I never gave it to you?" "Nomi. That's the least of it. Now let's go, Mom's waiting for us. And tell your family to wait in the waiting room. This is a matter for three, so let's go." "Motoko. Izuku, go ahead, we'll wait. This is family. Tell us what happened." Izuku. "Okay, fine, I love you." Motoko. "I know, so now go, don't waste any more time." So Izuku and Nomi went to Inko's room, and when they arrived Nomi stopped her. "Nomi. Okay, I'll go in first, you go in after me, okay?" Izuku. "Okay." So Nomi proceeded to enter. Nomi. "Hi Mom, I'm Nomi, your daughter. Look, Izuku came too." From here just imagine that it is Izuku and Inko. Inko. "Izuku, is that really you?" Izuku. "That's just how I am, Inko." Inko. "Tell me one thing, do you still hate Mom?" Izuku. "Of course." Inko. "Haha. Inko. I did many horrible things that I deeply regret." Inko. "But it doesn't matter." Inko. "Mom doesn't love you either." Inko. "We never." Inko. "We were mother and son." Inko. "It seems." Inko. "Mom is going to die soon, come closer, I want to see your face better." Inko. "Izuku, I'm scared." Inko. "I'm afraid of dying." Inko. "Sorry." Inko. "Forgive me, Izuku." Inko. "Actually." Inko. "I love you so much, my son." As Inko said that last word, she closed her eyes and only a beep was heard from the machine beside her, indicating that she had died. Upon seeing all that, Izuku simply covered his face and left the room with his head down. Next to the door was Nomi crying, also with her head down. Izuku then left the hospital. And on the way out he saw his family who were waiting for him, and when they saw him they approached him. Motoko. "Tell me, Izuku, how did it go with your mother?" Izuku. "Well, it went well for me, Motoko. Why don't you go with the girls to the base? I'll catch up later. I have things to do." Motoko. "Okay, but Izuku, are you alright? You know you can count on us, right?" Izuku. "Yes, I know, and yes, I'm fine. I just felt like walking and thinking about some things." Motoko. "Okay, don't eat too late, okay?" Izuku. "Okay." Motoko kisses Izuku on the mouth, then says one word to him. Motoko. "I love you." Izuku. "Me too." So Motoko left with the girls in the car heading to the base, and in the rearview mirror, she could only see Izuku extending his hand in farewell. Lucy. "Mom, are you sure it was a good idea to leave Dad alone? I didn't think it was okay." Ali. "I agree with Lucy." Dad looked confused and sad. Hoka. "Yes, even though I'm blind, I can still feel people's emotions and how they feel, and Dad didn't seem to." Motoko. "Daughters, I know you're worried about your father, but don't worry, he's Izuku. He always manages somehow. Besides, we're here to help him, right?" Lucy. "You're right, I think I'm exaggerating." Motoko. "And tell me, Lucy, how's it going with your friend David?" Upon hearing that, Lucy could only blush. Lucy. "Well, we're doing well, to be honest. I don't know why you're asking." Ali Poka. "Lucy likes it, likes it, likes it." Lucy. "Shut up, Gally, or do you want me to tell Hugo how you feel about him?" When Gally heard that name, she couldn't help but blush. Ali. "You wouldn't dare, because if you do, I'll tell Davi the same thing, so if I fall, you fall with me too." Lucy. "You damned." Motoko. "Okay girls, stop fighting. You can sort this out later. Besides, Poke is here." Lucy Gally. "Okay, Mom Mother." End of. Chapter 10. Chapter 11 First Encounter. Narrator. We find Izuku deep in thought, sitting on a park bench. Izuku. "This day has been so complicated. I just want all of this to end so I can go home and never return to this time in my life." Izuku. "Now that I think about it, I wonder what happened to Nagatoro." No, Izuku, remember what that bitch did. Besides, I already have Motoko and my daughters, and I'm happy with that. Besides, she's probably prostituting herself like the good little bore she is, hahaha. And you're not lying, B3X murderer. Upon hearing that voice, Izuku immediately followed, and the bench was split in two. Izuku. "Bronx, what the hell are you doing here?" Bronx. "Isn't it obvious? I've recovered and I want to warm my bones, but first allow me to take off this robe." Bronx then proceeded to remove his robe, revealing who he was. Bronx. "That's a lot, don't you think, my dear master? And how are Motoko and the others? I bet Lucy and Gally still miss me." Izuku. I'm no longer your teacher now that you've betrayed Hero Factory, and I'd rather Lucy and Gally be with your two friends than you. Bronx. So David and Hugo betrayed me. When I get back I'm going to kill them. Izuku. If you touch a single hair on their heads or on my family's heads, you will die. Bronx. Let's see if you're still the same old damn old man. Thus Bronx launched himself at Izuku with his sword drawn, the blade of which is red. Izuku. Armor flight attack activate. Thus Izuku proceeded to be covered by a white light, and when that light disappeared, he appeared with a new armor. Bronx. So that's how it's going to be, huh? Well, two can play that game, dark armor, come to me. The same with Izuku, only the light was dark, and when it disappeared he was seen with a new armor. Bronx. Alright, let's do this. Bronx disappeared before Izuku's sight and reappeared in front of him, delivering a direct blow to his head that sent him crashing into a car, attracting the attention of civilians. Izuku. Quick everyone get out of here. But nobody paid attention to him, so Izuku opted to use his plasma cannon, scaring them and running away. He had to dodge a sword strike from Bronx, but he also changed his sword from red to black. Izuku. Bronx, there's still time to change. I'll do everything in my power to make sure your sentence isn't so long. Bronx. It's too late now. I've already decided my path, and this is it. If I want to achieve my goal, I'll have to kill the Hero Factory, no matter what. Bronx then proceeded to lunge at Izuku head-on, with his sword extended to stab him in the chest, but Izuku easily dodged it and he shot him in the back with his plasma cannon, wounding him. Bronx. Hi, you bastard, you'll pay for that. Izuku. You still have a lot to learn. Bronx. Shut up. Before he could throw another punch, Izuku moved forward and shot him in the chest, wounding him to the point of damaging his armor. Bronx. Arg shit that really hurts, damn this old guy has improved. Before Izuku and Bronx could continue their fight, Bronx received a call on his helmet. Foe. Bronx, that's enough, return to base. Bronx. This isn't over yet, B3X. The next time we meet will be our last battle. Bronx then teleported away while Izuku just watched him go. Izuku. Bronx, what happened to you? So Izuku also proceeded to fly away before the heroes and reporters arrived to bother him. End of Chapter 11. Narrator. We find Izuku deep in thought, sitting on a park bench. Izuku. This day has been so complicated. I just want all of this to end so I can go home and never return to this time in my life. Izuku. Now that I think about it, I wonder what happened to Nagatoro. No, Izuku, remember what that bitch did. Besides, I already have Motoko and my daughters, and I'm happy with that. Besides, she's probably prostituting herself like the good little boar she is, hahaha. And you're not lying, B3X murderer. Upon hearing that voice, Izuku immediately followed, and the bench was split in two. Izuku. Bronx, what the hell are you doing here? Bronx. Isn't it obvious? I've recovered and I want to warm my bones, but first allow me to take off this robe. Bronx then proceeded to remove his robe, revealing who he was. Bronx. That's a lot, don't you think, my dear master? And how are Motoko and the others? I bet Lucy and Gally still miss me. Izuku. I'm no longer your teacher now that you've betrayed Hero Factory, and I'd rather Lucy and Gally be with your two friends than you. Bronx. So David and Hugo betrayed me. When I get back I'm going to kill them. Izuku. If you touch a single hair on their heads or on my family's heads, you will die. Bronx. Let's see if you're still the same old damn old man. Thus Bronx launched himself at Izuku with his sword drawn, the blade of which is red. Izuku. Armor flight attack activate. Thus Izuku proceeded to be covered by a white light, and when that light disappeared, he appeared with a new armor. Bronx. So that's how it's going to be, huh? Well, two can play that game, dark armor, come to me. The same with Izuku, only the light was dark, and when it disappeared he was seen with a new armor. Bronx. Alright, let's do this. Bronx disappeared before Izuku's sight and reappeared in front of him, delivering a direct blow to his head that sent him crashing into a car, attracting the attention of civilians. Izuku. Quick everyone get out of here. But nobody paid attention to him, so Izuku opted to use his plasma cannon, scaring them and running away. He had to dodge a sword strike from Bronx, but he also changed his sword from red to black. Izuku. Bronx, there's still time to change. I'll do everything in my power to make sure your sentence isn't so long. Bronx. It's too late now. I've already decided my path, and this is it. If I want to achieve my goal, I'll have to kill the Hero Factory, no matter what. Bronx then proceeded to lunge at Izuku head-on, with his sword extended to stab him in the chest, but Izuku easily dodged it and he shot him in the back with his plasma cannon, wounding him. Bronx. Hi, you bastard, you'll pay for that. Izuku. You still have a lot to learn. Bronx. Shut up. Before he could throw another punch, Izuku moved forward and shot him in the chest, wounding him to the point of damaging his armor. Bronx. Arg shit, that really hurts, damn, this old guy has improved. Before Izuku and Bronx could continue their fight, Bronx received a call on his helmet. Afo. Bronx, that's enough, return to base. Bronx. This isn't over yet, B3X. The next time we meet will be our last battle. Bronx then teleported away while Izuku just watched him go. Izuku. Bronx, what happened to you? So Izuku also proceeded to fly away before the heroes and reporters arrived to bother him. End of. Chapter 11. Chapter 12, Discovering Truths. Narrator. We find ourselves in the principal's office along with him and the other heroes, and in front of them was Izuku and his team. Nezu. And what do you have to say in your defense for everything that has happened during all this time? Izuku. What we have to say is that we come from the future, more specifically from the year 2077. Nezu. You're not lying, are you? Furno. What my partner says is true, and we are proof of that, since the technology we are made of has not yet been invented in this era. Endeavor. Let's see if they really are from the future, what are they doing here? Motoko. The reason we're here is because the villain Izuku faced is from our time, and we've come to take him away. Strummer. Because with his mere presence he is altering the past, just as we are also altering it, and that is why we must act quickly in this mission. Almight. Yes, but who is that boy Izuku faced? He seemed very young. Izuku. He's Bronx, he's a former disciple. Izawa. Then why did he betray you if he was someone important to you? Asuke. We don't know. From one day to the next, he attacked us and detonated several explosives throughout almost the entire base, and also in the city. Asuke. Much of the base and the city was destroyed, and from that day on, Bronx was considered bioterrorist or metahuman, to be specific. Izuku. I'm telling you for the 5th time that Bronx is nothing like that, damn it. Furno. Excuse him, it's just that Izuku is in denial that his disciple is one of those two things. He was very attached to him. Nex. I saw him as a son, to be specific. Izuku. I know Bronx isn't like that, he's just confused, and I'll prove it to you. So Izuku proceeded to leave the meeting, slamming the door loudly. Mirko. Wow, that day really affected him, didn't it? Furno. Yes, that's right. Mirko. You piece of red tin, I want a rematch. Furno. This is the 5th time you've asked me that, you know. I've even written it down in my daily to-do list. It arises. So much so. Breeze. That rabbit seems to be very stubborn. Mirko. Enough of this talk about how stubborn I am, Red Tin Can. I want you where you always are, and this time I'll beat you. So Mirko proceeded to go. Furno. Sigh, well, since I have no other choice, I'll see you guys later and take care of Izuku so he doesn't do anything crazy. League of Villains base. Bronx. Look, I want you to explain why you tell me out of nowhere to go and make a scene, and when I'm confronting my father, I mean B3X, you call me to withdraw. Afo. Dude, tell me something, why did you betray your team? You said you had a perfect life there, but I don't see the reason for your betrayal. Bronx. That's the point, nobody can be that perfect. When I was with them, they didn't make any mistakes, there were no casualties or destruction in the city. Bronx. So I took it upon myself to teach people that no one and nothing can be that perfect. Bronx. When I committed that attack, they held a press conference. I could see how people hated me and insulted me and them for having someone like me. Bronx. And my former team just stood there with their heads down, but what hurt the most was seeing B3X yelling at people and defending me. Tears were falling from his eyes. That really hurt. Bronx. But I've already chosen my path and I'm not going to back down. I'll prove to everyone that no one can be that perfect. End of. Chapter 12. Chapter 13, The battle approaches. Narrator Izuku. After my little confrontation with Bronx, I headed to the base to report what happened, and then we received a call from the heroes requesting a meeting because the League of Villains had sent them a video. At the heroes meeting. Izuku. Alright, here we have it. What's that video, and which member of the League of Villains sent it? Endeavor. All we know is that he was sent by the League of Villains. So they proceeded to play that video. In the video, a person started talking, and that person was none other than. Outside of the video. Almight Afo. In the video. Afo. Hello dear heroes and travelers, referring to Izuku and his team. I'm Afo, although by now you all probably know me. And for the travelers, I already know everything about you and my future. At that point, Afo begins to transform into. Outside of the video. Izuku Bronx. Within the video. Bronx. Hello B3X, surprised Afo when I told him about his destiny and seeing that I had no chance, we did the most sensible thing. We fuse to become an all-powerful being and prove that nobody is perfect. Then the Bronx becomes AFO. AFO? Oh, and one more thing, heroes. If I were you, I wouldn't trust your students too much, since there are traitors among them from the least expected places. And that's it. Goodbye and good luck finding the traitors, hahaha. And that's how the video ends. Next. This has already gotten ugly. Asuke. We need to act as soon as possible. Azaliski. And we also have to uncover the traitors who have someone in mind. Referring to the heroes. Nezu. Nothing for the moment, but right now we'll put him under extreme surveillance and interrogate him. Watoko. Hey Izuku, and our daughters, I don't see them. Izuku. What are you talking about? They're here. When she turned around to where her daughters had been, they were no longer there. Izuku. Where are they? Wait a moment, where are the car keys? Watoko. Oh no, it can't be. But the girls. Ali. Are you sure you can drive one of these things? Lucy. Phew, don't worry Herman, of course I know. Now go and sit next to Poca and put on your seatbelts. Ali. I think a simple seatbelt won't be enough for you behind the wheel. Moving away. Lucy. What did you say? Ali. Nothing. Sitting next to Poca, he put her seatbelt on and hers as well. Poca. Dad, Mom, and my uncles are going to be very angry. Ali. You have no idea. 5 minutes later. Ali. Lucy, you didn't tell me you knew how to drive one of these. Lucy. Of course I know you don't see me driving. Ali. Well you drive like a deranged psychopath. Lucy. PFFT, you're just jealous of me. Now get ready because we're going to jump a trap. Ali. Oh no, 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 no. And so Lucy floored the accelerator, activated the nitro, and flew through the trap. Ali Lucy Poca ai wee. 20 minutes later. Lucy, Gally, and Poca were getting out of the car, although Gally's hair was disheveled and she was trembling with fear, while Poca and Lucy were acting normally. Ali. You damn crazy deranged woman, what were you thinking? Lucy. Oh please, it's not that big of a deal. Even Poca had fun, didn't she? Poca Yumu, while nodding his head. Ali. That's not the point, it's what will happen if Dad finds out about this. What will your excuse be? Lucy. Calm down, little sister. Ali. No, I'm fed up with you and all your damn problems. You're always out there, carefree and without thinking about the consequences, and I'm always the one who has to fix them. Ali. I'm fed up with all this. Then he gets hit by Lucy. Lucy. What do you know? You're always the perfect daughter, the one who always succeeds in everything and outshines her older sister. Lucy. I've always tried to improve myself, but you always come along and steal all the attention I want to receive, and that's why I am the way I am now. Ali. Lucy, I didn't know you felt this way. I just wanted you to be proud of me, but I only ended up overshadowing you. I'm truly sorry, I didn't mean to. Before Gally could continue speaking, she received a hug from Lucy. Lucy. No, Gally, you're not the one who should apologize, it's me, for how badly I've treated you and the things I've said to you. Please forgive me. All Gally did was accept her sister's hug. Gally. Okay, I forgive you, sister. Lucy. I forgive you too, sister. But before they could continue talking, a mysterious figure emerged from the alley and began to speak. Wow, what a beautiful scene, but it's a shame it has to end. Upon hearing that mysterious voice, Lucy and Gally break their embrace and assume fighting stances. Lucy pulls her ribbon from her wrist and Gally generates a sword using his nanotechnology. If I were you, I wouldn't do anything, or she'll die. Raising his hand and showing that he had Poca by the neck and placing his other hand near her head, he made small, hurtful explanations. Poca. Sisters, help, I'm scared. Lucy Gally bye. Lucy. You damn fool, what do you want? I want you to come with me or else you'll die. Lucy and Gally, seeing that they had no other options, did the most sensible thing. Lucy. Okay, just don't do anything to him. Gally Dad, Mom, uncles, we trust you. Sending the video of everything that happened to his family. Very well, but first they'll have to be knocked out to avoid problems. Then 2 more shadows appear behind Lucy and Gally, knocking them out before they can react and also knocking out Poca in the process. Alright, now tie them up, carry them, and let's get out of here before the police and the heroes arrive. 2. Whatever you say, I just want to have fun with them. 3. Yes, me too, friend. So they proceeded to load them onto the base of the League of Villains. End of. Chapter 13. Chapter 14 The Rescue, the End. Narrator. After that meeting, and realizing that his daughters weren't there and he didn't have the car keys, Izuku called his daughters, but they didn't answer, nor did he answer calls from his mother or his uncles. Izuku. Damn, there's nothing from them and you guys got lucky. Motoko. Nor will those girls regret leaving without me when I find them, releasing a bit of her murderous maternal instinct. Evo. Wait a minute, Izuku, your car has GPS, right? Izuku. Yeah, why damn, yeah, we can track our car, hahaha, oh my god, Evo, you're a genius. Asuke. Very well, Izuku, Motoko, and Furno, you two go ahead. The rest of us will stay behind to question the students and teachers. The three of them. Understood. So the three of them went to the place that indicated there was no faster way to get there than through a dimensional portal. Already at the location. Furno. Okay, we've arrived, but there's no signal from them, only from the car. Izuku. That's strange, they wouldn't leave the car here in the middle of nowhere. Motoko, do you have any idea? Motoko. I don't know, but my maternal instinct tells me our daughters are in danger. But then a video reached the three of them and the others who were interrogating the suspects, and the video was of Gali. So everyone pressed play to see what the video said. After everyone has watched the video. Everyone was speechless. They had just witnessed their granddaughters being kidnapped. But Izuku, seeing the man holding Poka by the head and causing small explosions, knew who he and the others were. Izuku. Those bastards have earned themselves a date with the devil himself. Time skips. All the hero teachers and Izuku's team were there, and at the head was Nezu, already gathered. Nezu. Very well, according to our reports, no student is a suspect except for the Todoricus and the Bakugos, and with a video about the kidnapping of the daughters of one of our travelers, our suspicions are correct. Endeavor. I can't believe it, my own flesh and blood ended up joining those disgusting villains. Almight. But where could they be? They could be anywhere in the city of Japan. I know where they are. Upon hearing that familiar voice, everyone saw Nomi in the doorway with a serious expression. Nomi. I know where they are because they told me themselves where they were going to be, and the League of Villains too. The reason I didn't tell you is that I thought they weren't serious, but how wrong I was. Izuku. If you weren't the only one who knew his location, I'd kill you right now. Nomi. You kill me, then you must be rescued. Motoko, I need you to come with me. The rest of you take care of the League. Izuku. I listened to you for the first and last time. Asuke. Then it's settled, we'll attack at 12 o'clock. I want everyone ready for the moment. All. Hi. Time skips. 12 o'clock. With Izuku's daughters. Lucy was waking up after being knocked out, and when she turned around she could see her sisters also getting up. Lucy. Gali Poka, finish waking up already. We need to get out of here as soon as possible. Ali. Yes, but since we're leaving here, we don't know anything about the infrastructure. But then he heard his drinks being broken by someone, and when he turned around he saw it was Poka. Lucy. Poka, but how? Poka. Well, I've been awake for a while, and I untied myself with the knife you gave me. Ali. You gave a knife to a little girl. Lucy. What did you expect from me? We live in a dangerous city. Poka. Getting back to the topic, I already know the place, the people, and what they're up to. After finishing untying Gali and then going to untie Lucy, he successfully succeeded. Lucy. Okay, now let's go. We have to be as stealthy as possible, understood? Both high. So Lucy proceeded to pull the thread from her wrist, which she tied to her other wrist. Gali created her sword using nanotechnology, which is this. Then Poka puts away the knife her sister gave her and takes out two reddish daggers, surprising her sisters. These are her daggers. Ali. Poka, who gave you that was you, Lucy, wasn't that right? Lucy. No, wait, this time it wasn't me. Poka. This time it wasn't Lucy who gave them to me, but our father. Lucy Gali. XD. After that short conversation, the three went in search of their captors until they found them. Bakugo. Alright, you know what to do. Oyuki. Hey, wait. Bronk said not to do anything to them. Shoto. He doesn't need to know, besides, he's too busy with other things. Raku. Go to hell, I'm going to get some fresh air. Just as Raku was about to cross that door, Gali appeared beside it, and before she could react, she was impaled in the stomach with Gali's sword. And not content with that, he pulled out his sword in one swift motion and slammed it into her face, sending her flying into the wall. Bitsuki. Sister. Damn it. Now you'll see. He extends his arm to launch an explosion, but his arm is wrapped around a bright orange thread, and when he squeezes it tightly, his arm is cut to pieces. Bitsuki. AI on my arm. Lucy. That was for hurting Poka, you damned wretch. Shoto. I knew I shouldn't have left them together, but since. Shoto extends both arms to freeze and burn them, but before he can do anything, Poka lunges at Shoto's back and begins stabbing him repeatedly. Shoto. Ah, you damn girl, get off me. So, grabbing Poka by the head, he threw her against a wall, hitting her head and knocking her out in the process. Lucy Gali Poka. Lucy was about to pounce, but Gali was faster than her. Shoto. You want to die too, you harassed me. Before he could finish speaking, Gali slashed part of his face and his entire chest, blood gushing out. Shoto. Ah, you damn thing, you'll see. Before Shoto could launch another attack, Gali appeared beside him and plunged her sword into his ribs, making him scream in pain. After that, Gali throws Shoto to the ground, gets on top of him, and starts cutting him with his sword. The only thing that could be heard were the screams. Oyuki was paralyzed with fear at the sight of such brutality. She could only vomit. But then someone touched her shoulder, and it was Bakugo. Itsuki. Oyuki, I want you to listen carefully. Take my sister and run as far away as possible. I'll take care of the rest. Oyuki. Okay, I was never prepared for this. So Oyuki grabbed Raku and proceeded to leave without being noticed. Once they had left, Bakugo understood his arm was about to die. If he was going to die, he would take everyone in this building with him. Bakugo. Alright, you damn bitches, it's time for everyone. Bang. 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 That was the sound of a gunshot alerting Lucy and Gali, and when they turned around they saw Bakugo lying on the floor with 3 bullet holes, and when they saw who killed him. Watoko. This is for kidnapping and hurting my daughters, you son of a bitch. Lucy. Gali. Mom. Watoko. Daughters. So the 3 of them went to hug each other, but then they felt someone else join the hug, and who was it? Watoko. Poka. Daughter, are you alright? Poka. Mom, sisters, I can see now. All 3. Seriously. Poka. Yes, finally I can see. It seems the blow to the head made me see again. I'm so happy. At that moment, Poka receives a hug from her mother and sisters. Watoko. Oh my god, I'm so happy, daughter, that you can finally see. Lucy. Mom, where are Dad and the others? Watoko. Let me tell you everything that has happened so far. In the battle. The city was in complete chaos, both sides were exhausted, they managed to demerge Afo and the Bronx. But they still kept fighting. Izuku took care of Bronx and the others of Afo. Bronx and Izuku were using the most powerful armors they had. Izuku's powerful armor. Bronx powers armor. Izuku. Bronx, just end all this already, give up. Bronx. Never now die. Thus Bronx began to attack with his hand knives, which Izuku only blocked. Bronx. Once I kill you, I'll kill everyone you love. In that, it is pleasing to the head, slowly cracking its helmet. Izuku. I'm fed up with you. Izuku then proceeded to throw Bronx into the air, then appeared above him and with a punch, slammed him to the ground, breaking his helmet, then fell on top of him. Bronx. You bastard, you'll see. Pulling out his knives. But before he could insert his blades into Izuku's leg, Izuku grabbed him from his embrace and, using force, ended up tearing off his arm. Bronx. Izuku. Just give up, Bronx. There's nothing left to fight for. You've already lost. Bronx. Shut up. Bronxon was about to lunge, but then he received 3 shots in the chest, ribs and leg, and when he saw who it was, he was able to see Saito from a building. Bronx. Damn it, I'm not going to die here. So Bronx proceeded to open a portal and go to his timeline. Izuku. Shit, he escaped again. Saito. Calm down, Izuku. With the injuries he has, he'll probably bleed to death. Izuku. You're right. Time skips. Everyone was already gathered, and Izuku's team was opening the portal to go to their present time. Izuku. Well, I think that's all. Thank you very much for your help and your services, and I apologize for the loss and disappearance of your students. Nezu. Don't worry about this. Furno. Alright, let's go, the portal is ready. Izuku. Nomi, if you really want to revive yourself, a silver-haired girl with a horn on her head would ask for your help. I want you to hold on to her as tightly as possible, understood? Nomi. Understood. I'll do everything I can to hold on to her. Izuku. I hope so. Thus Izuku proceeded to leave with his team to his present time. In the future with the Bronx. He was in an alley covered in blood, and helicopters and patrol cars could be seen in the city, meaning they detected his presence. Police Officer 1. Quick, this way, the dogs are detecting him. Bronx. Shit, I only have 1 bullet left. I knew this was going to happen, and yet I still went down this path. Then Bronx puts the gun under his head. Bronx. It was nice while it lasted after all, hahaha. Bang. Those were the sounds of a gun being fired. The end of Izuku the Heroes. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.